Hello friends, and welcome to episode 254 of Looking at Stamps. And today we can conclude looking at our women represented on the Black Heritage Stamp Series. The first is Scott number 4803. This is the Althea Gibson stamp. This was issued in 2013. Althea Gibson was a noted tennis player and golf player. She was the first African-American to win the French Open in 1956. She was the first African-American to win Wimbledon in 1957, and later that year she went on to win the U.S. Nationals, which was the precursor to the U.S. Open. And in 1958, she went on to win again the Nationals and the Wimbledon. Over her career, she won 11 Grand Slam titles, 5 singles, 5 doubles, and 1 mixed doubles. And when she retired the following year, she was the first African-American woman to participate in the LPGA, which is the Ladies Professional Golf Association. So that is the Althea Gibson stamp, Scott number 4803. The next stamp in the series is Scott number 4856, and this is the Shirley Chisholm stamp issued in 2014. Shirley Chisholm was a politician from New York. She was in the New York State Assembly from 1965 to 1968, and in 1968 she was the first African-American woman elected to Congress. In 1971, she was the co-founder of the Congressional Black Caucus, and she served 7 consecutive terms in Congress. And that is the Shirley Chisholm stamp, Scott number 4856. The next stamp is one I actually had to do research on. I didn't know who this was. This is Scott number 5171, issued in 2017, and this is the Dorothy Height stamp. She participated in the civil rights movement for over 70 years. She inspired Eisenhower to desegregate schools. She inspired Lyndon Baines Johnson to appoint Black women to government positions. And eventually she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1994 and the Congressional Gold Medal in 2004. And that is Dorothy Height, Scott number 5171. The next one is a personal favorite of mine. This took no research whatsoever. This is Scott number 5259. This is the Lena Horne stamp. This was issued in 2018. She spent over 70 years as an entertainer and a civil rights activist. She is most widely known for her portrayal in the movie Panama Hattie, which was her 1942 debut for singing the song Stormy Weather. She participated in the March on Washington in 1963, and her political activism eventually led her to be blacklisted on Hollywood. And when she couldn't get hired any longer, she became a jazz singer, or she continued being a jazz singer, I should say. She was always a jazz singer. But she continued her jazz singing career, and she was refused to portray any African-American parts in a demeaning way, which made her unpopular in Hollywood. But she stood by her guns, and I had the pleasure of meeting her and actually singing for her at the Cotton Club here in New York City when she came to visit a performance of the Duke Ellington Orchestra. She was a friend of Billy Strayhorn, who was the collaborator with Duke Ellington, and the Cotton Club here in New York City was, at the heyday, a jazz legend place to come and hear jazz. So that is the Lena Horne stamp 5259. And finally, we had the one issued last year. This is the Gwen Ifill stamp 5432. Gwen Ifill is a popular journalist here in the United States. And she was the first Black woman to host a political talk show. And she was the first African-American woman to host the vice presidential debate. She did it twice in both 2004 and 2008. And that concludes our series of women portrayed on Black Heritage stamps. Have a great day, and we will talk about more women on stamps tomorrow. Bye-bye.